I'm Mrs. Caroline Ukwe. I'm from Delta State, and I'm a teacher by profession. I've been into the profession for a very long time. Okay, my name is Mrs. Okeke. I'm a preschool teacher. I handle the ages of from 0 to 6 years. I have been into this profession for so many years. By the grace of God, I will be 20 years in this profession.
I'm Mrs. Oluwatosin Olojede. I'm the proprietress of Tedimbel Academy in Ikorodu.
I am Jade Sola Oduneye.
My name is Kelly Raphael. I am the proprietor of Brilliant Brain Kids and College.
This is Esther Ugumoko. I'm a parent. Yes, it's true. It's common in this these low-fee private schools and also in the public schools. Actually, from my experience, I have noticed that from my own class, I've noticed that some children come to school without eating. Sometimes their body language or how they relate with you, you will notice that a particular child, some do come to you telling you that they've not eaten. So sometimes when I notice this kind of problem, what I do is to let their parents know. And sometimes when I involve their parents, the excuse they give me are out of their tight schedule. Some don't really have time to feed their children before leaving home. They handle or give their caregivers to take good care of the children. And sometimes the caregivers at home cannot give the children 100% attention a mom or a parent can give to a child.
Yes, I'm aware that many children come to school without eating, and it is rampant. We have various reasons why children come to school without eating. One, some children come to school without eating because their parents cannot afford to give them breakfast early in the morning, while they still pack food for them to come to school with, and then eventually when they get home they will still eat before their dinner. Then secondly, some children feel that it's too early for them. We've had instances of children saying, no, I cannot eat early in the morning, it's too early, I'd rather eat during my break time in school. Then the third reason why some children don't eat breakfast is because we had an instance of a child who said that the mom worked overnight. I think the mother is a caterer, so she got some order and worked overnight, and she slept early in the morning and couldn't wake up to prepare breakfast. And that happens regularly. The child comes to school with money. We have to be the one to buy snacks from the vendor for the child.
I am aware because I've been privileged to teach in various capacities, right from primary to secondary to tertiary, even to broadcasting organization. So I'm aware children go to school without eating, but it's a common thing anyway. It's a common thing. It's not new.
Well, yes, we have issues of children coming to school without food, and in my school per se, I'll say it's a 20% issue, and it's not really common, but we've had a case of a child coming to school on empty stomach because the kind of meal they prepared in the morning was not something she could actually eat. Just giving a child eba in the morning She refused to eat, and she came to school looking so fragile and weak. We had to personally on our own just work on that, just give her something, and then we spoke to the parents.
Yes, it's very common because the situation of Nigeria now is very hard to even eat twice in a day. It's very hard for some people.
It's because of the situation of the country. So many homes now, it's not their wish to not to give the children food to eat or to take to school. Some parents, they don't even have the next meal to eat, not to talk of giving to the children.
Sometimes feeding a child sometimes is not really easy, especially those ones that before you feed them, it's really hard. You have to pet, and it takes time for you to feed them. So what they do is to pack their food, send it to school, or if they have a cordial relationship with the teacher, they will get you involved for you to help or assist them in order to make sure that their children or their ward are properly taken care of.
I guess because of the financial challenges in the economy, that's why some children don't have anything to eat.
Financial constraints, nonchalant attitude by parents, and societal factors.
Majorly, I know that is the financial status of their parents, because you have kids whose parents are really not doing anything good for themselves in terms of finances. They are really low on finance, and that tends to affect the child. So that is like a major reason.
Because there is no money now to go to school. We are even try because of the payments of the school. That is the important thing. If the parents did not pay for the children's school, they will send them home. So eating is very hard this time around.
That is not well fed, you don't expect such a child to be active in class academically. The child will not fully participate in what others are doing or what the teacher asks them to do.
If a child eats well, he performs very well in class. You can't teach a child with an empty stomach. So once a child feeds very well, whatever you are giving the child, he's giving you back. So even health-wise, sometimes when you notice that when a child don't feed well, it affects the child in class.
The children are not active in class. We've had several instances where we just see them being moody, and when we get closer, we discover that it's because they've not eaten. They skipped breakfast. Some, they complain of tummy ache because of the breakfast they skipped. By not eating from home. And that will affect their performance in the class as well. They will not be active, and their attention, it will affect their attention span in their class, and as well as their health.
It keeps the child alert, mentally alert. When a child eats very well, when you feed a child very well, when the child gets to the school, the child will be mentally alert to subjects in the school, and the teacher will not have much problem because he or she will be able to concentrate.
Well, skipping breakfast is really a very big issue, because when a child skips breakfast, the child tends to participate poorly in class. Number one, you find such child sleeping or looking very weak and fragile, and mentally it also affects them because they are not able to comprehend in class. When a teacher teaches them, they find it hard to comprehend because they have not satisfied their belly, and this is like not advisable for pupils as well as parents.
Such children will not concentrate in class, so all what the teacher are teaching them, it will not even enter their this thing. That is the effect.
Well, they just want the children to be out of home so that probably neighbors will not think, okay, they are not capable of paying school fees and all the rest. So some, they pretend as if they don't know what is happening to the child, and that's very dangerous on the child's part because that can cause ulcer or other ailments for the child.
They allow it because of their time schedule. Some don't have time. Some are lazy parents. They don't have the time to sit with their children, to monitor them or to feed them very well.
Because of the financial situation, you might just tell the child, oh, I'm sorry, I don't have money to cook to prepare breakfast. Just when you come back from school, you will eat. Definitely I would have prepared something. So we have those kind of reasons.
I said this earlier on, lack of money, when financially they cannot afford it, and some they don't just care.
Well, I would say that parents, I feel all fingers are not equal. So I would say that parents allow this as a result of their own financial situation. But really, it is actually not commendable. But in my case, in my school, we have parents or some parents in that kind of situation because of their financial incapacities.
Because there is no money for feeding. To feed is very hard. There is no money.
I think the government, not school now, the government should help in subsidizing meals, probably giving the children free meal like some of our leaders promised in the past. If they can do that, it will be fine.
School are not really responsible for it, because in my own school where I've taught before, we give 100% attention of all pupils under our care. We make sure they are properly taken care of, especially when they have to do with their feeding aspect.
Not at all. The school is not against any child eating. We don't have any such policy. In fact, the policy is that every child must eat before coming to school. And even during break time, when we go around and we say that children don't eat, we ask them questions, and if possible, we take it a step further. We call the parent to investigate why a child is not coming to school with food.
The school are not responsible. Is it not? It is the duty of the school to teach, not to feed your child for you. So you cannot blame the school for this. It's solely the responsibility of the parents.
No, not at all. Schools are not responsible. In Brilliant Brains here, we try as much as possible to orientate our parents as well as our pupils on the reason or the need to feed properly, feed balanced, feed in a balanced ration, as well as feed properly to enhance learning and also help the school to impart knowledge better.
Yes, but not all the school. Maybe the government school, they are doing it once in a while, maybe from age 1 to 3. They are giving them food once in a while.
Not really. They've just been promising. They've never fulfilled their promises. They've never fed any school pupil or students, and that's bad.
Yes, I've heard about school feeding, but sometimes not everybody that can be able to pay, because feeding now is not really very funny now.
Yes, I've heard of school feeding. I know that the government did school feeding, but I guess that was for the public schools, the children in the pupils in public schools. But I don't think they extended it to the private schools.
Yes, I've heard about school feeding several times. The government, at a time the schools were feeding the children, but they are billing them. But it was discovered that many parents cannot meet up to expectation. Then the government, on the other hand, moves that they want to be feeding children at some point in time, but how far that was successful, I don't know. But till now, there are still schools that feed their children, but those are high fee paying schools.
Yes, I've heard about school feeding, but here in our school, we would not adopt such because we don't have the capacity to feed, a lot of people. And the kind of parents we have here, they would rather have their child come to school with their lunchbox and all of those things. So we don't have that planning for us now.
School feeding, make that should be government school, not private school. But some government school are doing it, not all the government schools.